for us here at Austria. Got a short qualifying, 18 minutes, followed by a half distance race. Now, this currently is not our set Division 2 roster. We will decide that after, as we see, what is DGM doing? That almost looks like his wheel completely failed him. But as I was saying, our Division 2 roster is not currently set. These are the drivers we have so far. Changes could be made to this roster, but as for now, this is what we have, and this is what we'll have tonight for the preseason race, which I am very excited to be back and able to commentate for PPR. Hope to see a lot of action tonight, a lot of clean driving, and many overtakes. If you are tuning in live right now from YouTube, make sure you go ahead and click that like button, subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated from all of you guys, and much love from all of us here at PPR. We're on board here with DGM, I believe. Money Hustard is just a little bit in front of him. Father Corn looks to be the lead driver, so we'll stay on board with him in the McLaren. And luckily Austria is just 9 turns, so I can do my quick racing adjustments and know which turn is which for the race for you guys, so I don't sound like a complete noob. And DGM has left the session. That is very interesting, and my prediction of him having wheel problems may have been right, as Randoms crosses the line with a 106.2, Father Corn with a 105.6, followed by George 1997 with a 105.1. And then Money Hustler with a 105.6. Very close between him and Father Corn. White Mike with a 107.6. Let's go ahead and get these tires up for you guys so we know what tires our guys are on. As White Mike was on the mediums, that explains his unfamiliar lap. As Indian Cyclone goes to 105.6 in that beautiful Ferrari. As we'll go back down to White Meat here. And the number 51 Haas is coming through Sector 2 DGM. Glad to see he joined very quickly after disconnecting. So far, pretty clean here by White Meat, looking a little bit slow on the timing charts. We'll see what he put up after coming through turn 9 here and on to the finish line. He's going to cross the line with a 106.6, and that will be on the medium tires. Very well done there by him. We'll go down to Marlon Conga, who is currently setting his lap. This season will be his first official season as a full-time driver, so very excited to have him with us. He is also fitted on those medium tires. See what kind of time that he can put in here. He's coming through turn 4 here. Into 5 and 6. Taking it pretty cautious right here on this lap, but very clean by him. And Marlon will cross the line with a 106.2, currently the fastest driver on the medium tires, as he sits in 9th place. So it looks like we have both the coach and your mom's house, number 1. Both also looking to be on those medium tires as well, starting their first laps here in qualifying, as we're now 6 minutes into our 8-minute session, or 18-minute session. As that is a very ugly helmet from the coach. I hope he watches this back and changes those colors. They are almost ugly Grinch Christmas colors. As it looks like he's coming to the pit, so we'll stick on board with your mom's house and that number 41 Renault as he crosses turn 9. Oh, extending the track a lot right there. That might have invalidated his lap. We'll see. Looks to be continuing on with it as he's coming through turn 1 here. And not taking the best lines right here on this lap. Not taking the best apexes, but so far so decent, I guess, here by your mom's house. And now if this is my mom's house, I am expecting some dinner to be made for me after this commentary. As Money Hustler now takes pole with a 105.1, beating out George by just 5 thousandths of a second. Your mom's house going P13 with a 107.3. As we'll see what George's 1997 can do. He looks to be 3 tenths down on his previous best, so not looking good for him to take pole on this lap, as he goes very wide as well through 4. Father Corn has retired from the session. Hopefully he didn't dive bomb into one of the many barriers that outstretch this track next to the trees. But here we go with George. He is hopping into the pits. Wasn't looking to improve that time at all. We'll go on board here with Indian Cyclone in the Ferrari. Currently nearly 3 tenths up on his time. If he does improve, he'll get 1 spot up there on George the Fraud for P4. As he comes down into turn 9. Really extended the track right there. Hopefully that didn't invalidate his time. It did not, and he crosses the line with a 105.3. Just a tenth and a half from McFacitas in P3. Down in the two-paced Williams, that Rocket Mortgage Williams, which is not a rocket in real life, but a rocket right now here on the track, as George the Fraud at 98 sits in P5, currently not improving at all there through Sector 2, almost even with his previous best. We'll see what he can do here coming into Sector 3, just turns 8 and 9 to go. And it looks like he might have backed out just a little bit right there, as he does, and does not improve on that time at all. Go on board with White Mike, who was previously one of our Division 1 drivers. He's now going to be Division 2 for this season. Very excited to see what he can do for this season when it starts, I believe, on January the 21st, as he's also diving in the pits. So we'll go on board here with King Kirk as he does his best Charles Leclerc impression without a Max Verstappen to shove him off in turn 2. As I say that, it looks like Marlon Conga is back out on another hot lap. He's already a tenth up through turn 1. Very nicely done by him. Very clean exit through turn 2. Could have gained a little bit more time right there, but clean exit. as we'll just give you a little bit of the sights and sound here at Austria. As Marlon Conga crosses the line with a 105.1. Oh man, he is right there. I mean, he is very close to P1, as Money Hustler doesn't really have any time to give. As George's 1997 was already 5/10 down, his time doesn't look to be improving at all. Go on board here with the Toro Rosso of Mitch, who's currently a 10th up on his time. Got those soft compound tires on. Looks to be the tire of choice by pretty much our entire grid. So it doesn't look to be too much difference, as Money Hustard goes with a 105.0. So he's now nearly a 10th up on Marlon Conga for pole here for our preseason race in Division 2. Once again, thank you to everyone who is tuning in to our live stream on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. We love all the support that we get, and if you can do us a favor, like and subscribe this video, we all here would love you 3,000. I hope everyone gets that reference. As Mitchell crossed the line with a 105.5, and that's going to prove him to P8. Now on board with 2 for 2 white meat, currently sitting P13. See what he can do here. As we now just have 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. As White Meat does improve with a 105.6, now sitting within the top 10 there in P9. Very well done by him. As we'll now go on board with Randoms, who's sitting in P11. Quickly on board with his teammate of Mitch. I believe is just slightly in front there of Randoms. Looking like White Mike of the Red Bull is right behind them as well. See what these drivers can do. Looks like Mitch will be diving the pits. Go right here on White Mike. He crosses turn 9. And that's a 105.6, 7/10 approved, but only P10 for White Mike. As Randoms is also in the pits. And it looks like Ronan will be starting a lap there. The current teammate of White Mike for tonight's session. Now we have another Toothpaste Williams of Rock Lobster going out on the mediums again. He's done a lot of laps there on those mediums. And he's not going to be able, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a 107.6. He will have free choice of tire, but unfortunately, he's really going to have to rush back to the pits if he wants to do another lap. We'll go on board here with McFacitas and the Renault. 3/10 up through turn 1. I mean, he is storming right now. I mean, if you can keep up the same pace as he did in his previous lap, I mean, he'll be pole position for this race. There's just something about that banana boat Renault that gives our drivers extra pace in every race. So it looks like Money Hustard will be doing his final lap on a set of mediums. I don't know if Cody's is just lying to me. But that's an interesting choice there on Money Hustard. And through turn 8 and turns 9 comes McFacitas as he crosses the line with a 105.001. But invalidating that lap, it's not going to be enough. Unfortunately, that would have been pole for him. As we'll stick here with Jor the Fraud 98 and P7. Very unfortunate there for McFossey. He was looking to grab pole position, and with that time, if it wasn't invalidated, he would. And we'll now see what George the Fraud can do as he track extends like Lewis Hamilton, and we'll still say in P7. As we'll see which one of our drivers here. Looks like the coach on the out lap. Stay on board here with Money Hustard, as he is on those mediums. I mean, if he improves on that time, he'll be very well off for the race, strategy-wise. But I just don't see it happening, as he's not going to improve. As George 1997's come to the pits with Fossey as well. As we have the two Ferraris of King Kirk and Indian Cyclone. King Kirk giving Indian Cyclone some of that slipstream, see what kind of time he can put in with that benefit right there, as Kirk into the pits, Cyclone in as well. So we'll go back down on board with George the Fraud 98. I don't think he'll be setting another lap. So here we are with Mitch. As George 1997 does retire from the session, currently sitting in P3. Just barely in front of McFossey in P4. Marlon Conga with a 1:05.0. That's going to be pole position. Mitch will only improve to P8. It looks like White Mike is coming up on his final lap. Jules looks to have DNF, so we'll take it back down here. Randoms not on it, so here we go. White Meat in the Haas. Can he improve from P10? We will see. Do I think so? Yes. Will he? Who knows? But currently all is looking good here for White Meat. Let's see what he'll cross the line with. It'll be a 1:05.2. That'll be P6 there for White Meat. Mitch is into the pits. Randoms is as well. White Mike looks to be in the pits. So that is going to be P1 in the race from Marlon Conga. Just barely beating out Money Hustler by 0.02 of a second. And then George 1997 not sitting too far back from them. McFossey with P4, King Kirk in P5, White Meat P6, Indian Cyclone P7, followed by George the Fraud 1998, Mitch 712, and Randoms falling off our top 10. Very closely contested, just 0.5 between first through 10th. And just a second between first through 13th. So this is shaping up to be quite the interesting slipstream fest. And in the words of Borat and Bryce, our D1 commentator, reported by Bryce, who can suck the most stream? We will see here come race time, as we just wait for the rest of our drivers to enter the pits and for qualifying to be over. So I'm very excited to see what this race shapes up for tonight. As there we have it. Marlon Conga, P1, Money Hustard, P2, and P3, George 1997. Followed by McFossey 1993 and P4, and King Kirk in P5. Just 0.2, I mean 0.3 separating P1 to P6. I mean, that's... If this doesn't tell you how our season is going to go, I mean, I don't know what will. And we will just now wait for the formation lap to begin, the session to start. And as we have random people joining, hopefully they will not get into the race, but we will see. As we will take a quick break here in the commentary booth while we wait for all of our drivers to to do any last minute changes and get this formation lap going. And we are back here as our formation lap is getting through turn 2. Once again, Marlon Conga is in P1, Money Hustler in P2, and George 1997 in P3. As a commentator, I look at 36 laps and think if my voice will be able to keep up with all the action that's going to happen tonight. As don't forget, our Division 1 will be starting right after this race at Austria as well. Clear weather for this for their preseason race, I should say. And I will be followed by the Banana Boat Boy of Captain Hood in the booth, who unfortunately will not be racing in Division 1 Xbox this year, but you can catch him on Mondays for our PC division. So sad to see him leave, but happy to see he has found another banana journey in life, and hopefully he can make some banana friends. As our formation lap is now coming up to the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers getting sent back to the grid. That's going to be terrible for their tires. Chef Ramsay hates cold food, and I hate cold tires, and so do our drivers. But, I mean, that's what they're going to get tonight at the start of this formation lap, unfortunately. As we wait for the lights. Three lights, 4, 5. And they are out for PPR Division 2 preseason race here at Austria. Money Hustler with a great look on the inside of Marlon Conga going through turn 1. Nothing doing there. McFossitas on the inside of King Kirk. Lots of side-by-side action on going down the field. We go 3 wide here with Father Corn, randoms in the coach. We go back on top of the grid. George trying to get a move there done on Money Hustler. Looks like he does. Marlon Conga now in P3 after qualifying in P1. McFossitas side by side with White Meat for P5. Oh, we got a lot of moves down the inside there of turn 3. See how the rest of our grid is doing. Not much doing there. Money Hustler again on the outside. Oh, and that is a big wreck right there. Looks like White Meat has fallen back. Indian Cyclone down to P3. Marlon Conga into P2, followed by Jordan Fraud P5 and Mitch 712 in, or Jordan Fraud 98 in P4 and Mitch 712 in P5. Do apologize for my mistakes. So unfortunately, White Meat has now fallen all the way down in the P9. He's going to have to hop in the pits. Unfortunately, we did not catch what happened right there as I was trying to see what else was going down through the grid. But Money Hustler now setting the fastest lap of the race here into P1. Looking very nice there by him. Joe the Fraud falling very closely, but Father Corn side by side here with Ronan. He does have those soft tires on. See if he can make any moves there. As Mitch took a look right there on the inside of George the Fraud 98. Battling out here for P4 going into turn 3. And can Mitch get the move done? George still fighting with him side by side. As it looks like that'll be the move. Oh, as they catch a lot of gravel right there. As we now have Father Corn and Ronan side by side. Ronan looking to get that move done as well as they're coming into turn 8 and 9. Toad from town has left the session. Bye-bye, Toad. We don't love you. DGM, we do love you, and we are sad to see that you have left the session. As the coach has a beautiful look here going into turn 1. He's just watching the action and standing by there in that Mercedes. It looks like King Kirk has made a move on your mom's house. Unfortunately, your mom's house is not the house you want to go to tonight because they are sitting in P11. P12 is Scar Tricks, who unfortunately wasn't able to make qualifying. Joined at the last second, but he's already in P11 that's starting at the back of the grid. Very well done by those guys. We'll go back on board here with Father Corn going on the inside of Ronan. Oh, Ronan with a little bit of a touch right there on Mitch. In turn 3, they are side by side. As we have a yellow in sector 3. Looks like White Bean has left the session. Rage quit, maybe. And there is a safety car. And that is why we ask our drivers not to retire unless it is in the pits. White Bean may have done that and that glitch may have happened. Anyways, as Scar Tricks gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with King Kirk. That's unfortunate to see. Your mom's house with a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Scar Tricks. Yeah, guys, let's not put our front wings in people's gearboxes. That is an easy way to get a time penalty here because Cody's loves penalties. But 4 laps in, and we have a safety car. And I used to say when Borat Loves Suck would commentate with me, that's when we got safety cars. But I think we've broken the curse because we now have a safety car, and Borat is nowhere to be found. He is slaving away at work right now. And it is just me by myself in the booth, so maybe we broke the curse tonight, who knows. But 4 laps in, Money Hustard is sitting in P1 with Marlon Conga in P2, Indian Cyclone P3, and George Fraud 98 in P4, followed by Mitch 712 in P5. A lot of close battles there in the very early stages of this race. I know Marlon definitely wants to get P1 back, but sitting in second place isn't that bad at Austria. I mean, you get the advantage of slipstream, you can save a lot of that ERS, and because your tires don't wear down like they would in real life if you were following a car in real Formula 1, he's got a pretty good advantage right here. So we'll see if we have anyone hop in the pits. Doesn't look like it at all. As I go up the grid, doesn't look like any of our drivers are going to opt for those hard tires. Might be a little too early in the race to do that and possibly change your strategy. So we'll just wait for the safety car to end this out. And this safety car gives me another water break, so I'll be right back with you guys in 30 seconds. And we're back. And as I noticed during my water break, the Henchman 21 is sitting in P8. Henchman, where did you come from? That is my question. I know he is actually not a North American driver. He's actually one of our very few European drivers, and he's very close to Austria. I think this might be his home race, as this safety car said it is coming in this lap. As now everyone is racking up 5-second time penalties as the coach falls in the pits. I believe it said safety car in this lap, but I don't think the safety car driver got that message at all. So lots of drivers make collisions with each other. May have just seen that message wrong. Who knows? And you hate to see it, but your mom's house got disqualified. I guess your mom's house said, I don't feel like DNFing anymore. I feel like starting a disqualified streak. And well, there's no better time to do that than the preseason, I guess. So your mom's house will be in last place. Sorry. Don't feel bad. So with all this little shake-up in the grid, a lot of 5-second time penalties. That's going to be interesting to see how that shapes out at the end of the race. But Money Hustard still P1, Marlon Conga in P2, and any Cyclone in P3. Could we possibly have I'm lying to myself. A Ferrari engine 1-2, maybe, but not a Ferrari 1-2. The Ferrari fanboy in me is screaming for any Cyclone here. If you win the race, pal, I won't get you anything. I'll give you a pat on the back. This is the preseason. As a lot of our grid is getting really messed up. White Mike's into the pits. But we are back. And Marlon Conga not getting the best start here on a Money Hustard. As much of our grid is just following the slipstream of each other. That's a beautiful shot right there. Look at all the fans screaming our PPR boys. You go, fans. And you know what? Everybody watching on YouTube, you go as well. But now, here goes Marlon Conga on the inside of Money Hustard. What a beautiful move. And that's going to put him into P1 in that McLaren. As Money Hustard is now in P2. Not much doing for these boys. Perp 9. Getting very wide right there. And the Haas giving randoms P12. As Scar Tricks in P10 falling right behind Father Corn. As the Henchman picks up a 3-second time penalty. No DRS because of the safety car. Just nothing but pure power. The Scar Tricks, can he get it on the outside there? He does. Beautifully done there. Now he's got King Kirk in his sights. We go back up the grid and nothing doing here through turn 2. Money Hustard still keeping his eyes on Marlon Conga's gearbox. Very close battles, but no moves being made right now. This Indian Cyclone also in P3, falling just a little bit back from first and second place. As we have McFossitas a little bit wide right there, looking on the back of Father Corn. But here comes Scar Tricks trying to make his way up through the field in that McLaren. As DRS is now enabled. As he won't get it through this DRS straight, but he will get it through the next, and very smartly backs out. of any potential move, as it looks like Jordan Fraud catching up a little bit here on Indian Cyclone, coming through turn 2. Goes on the outside. Very defensive there by Indian Cyclone, and no move being done there. As now Mitch has his eyes set on these two battling it out. As Jordan the Fraud just cannot get a move done, but that's going to give Mitch the opportunity to go on the outside here of Jordan the Fraud. Jordan is not letting up at all. He did leave space, but Mitch got a little wide, and he will not get the move done. Oh, as George just swings across the track, just losing a lot of traction right there, a lot of oversteer, and that will put Mitch into P4. Because we now have Money Hustard right here on the back of Marlon Conga coming in turn 1. But Money Hustard going very slow right there on the apex of turn 1. And with a terrible exit, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a move done here through turn 2. But we'll go down to Father Corn in P11 as he takes a quick peek there at McFossetoss, but nothing doing at all. As we will again have the benefit of DRS. But once again, no moves being made. Got quite the train of cars as we scroll up the field. But here is the battle for the lead so far. 10 laps into this 36-lap race. And Money Hustard is just praying that he can keep close to Marlon Conga. He will have the benefit of DRS right here. Looks like he may just be a little too far back to make a move. As he takes a peek into turn 2. I mean, he went for it, but nothing was going to be done there as Mitch now overtakes Indian Cyclone for P3. Cyclone really struggling right there with the top guys to keep the same pace on with them as he now sits into P4. But staring down that gearbox of Mitch, hopefully looking to overtake him and regain P3 as Jordan the Fraud now has a beautiful look on this battle. But Money Hustard and Marlon Conga, Money Hustard has gotten very close. See if he looks to have any type of idea on how to get past that McLaren here into turn 1. But once again, a terrible exit through turn 9. And that has really been costing him right here through the early stages. He just cannot get a good exit through the final corner. And that affects him through turn 1. And particularly through turn 2, trying to make an overtake. But as I say that, he goes on the outside. Oh, and Marlon Conga gets a bad exit, so they are now side by side. Marlon, though, getting the benefit of DRS, so he'll have a little bit more straight line speed right here. And the inside, as he will stay in P1, but Money Hustard is not giving up anything. As these guys are giving us a great battle and some clean racing as well. As Jordan the Fraud 98 picks up a 3-second time penalty. Finally, a great exit there by Money Hustard. Looks to be making a move down the inside through turn 1. Oh, but him and Marlon make a little bit of contact. Money Hustard may not have left enough space, but he did have the overtake done. We have a lot of action now going down through the middle of the field. Lots of overtakes being made. As King Kirk and the Henchman 21 are side by side. McFossitas Loreno right behind them. As they're now going 3 wide with McFossitas taking a dive bomb into turn 3. And that's now pushing King Kirk and the henchman further back down the grid. Scar Tricks now looking on the back of Ronan. Ronan looked to get a little bit out of sorts. So did Jor the Fraud. R.I.P. Jor the Fraud. You're falling to the back of the grid, my friend. That is not good for him. But now Scar Tricks, after starting from the back of the grid, is now sitting in P6 and right behind Ronan. As it looks like Marlon Conga has now hopped into the pits. Jor the Fraud as well. So Scar Tricks is now sitting in P5. And I say that he picks up a 3-second time penalty, but he is right on the gearbox of Ronan. Makes a move down the inside, giving us a little Charles Leclerc Max Verstappen action right there. Through turn 2 as Ronan's going to look to get him back on the inside here into turn 3, but nothing doing there. Scar Tricks will keep P4. Indian Cyclone now right on the back of Mitch. They're looking to gain P2. As Money Hustard is sitting a 1.5 seconds from Mitch in P1. And it looks like Mitch is going to dive into the pits. So we go down our grid, see if any of our other drivers elect to make their pit on this lap. Doesn't look like it. As we see Marlon Conga, who already made his pit, going on the outside of Perp 9. Perp 9 going very defensive, but losing it through turn 9. It looks like this will be Marlon into P11. As Mitch is now dropping very back, or to the very back of the grid after his stop. And Money Hustard looking very comfortable right there in P1, but Scar Tricks taking a look on the outside here of the Ferrari of Indian Cyclone. Indian Cyclone said, I am going to barely leave you any space at all. But he leaves just enough. So Scar Tricks will stay there in P3. Ronan sitting right behind them in P4. It looks like Indian Cyclones is diving in the pits. So Scar Tricks will now be promoted into P2, possibly P1, because Money Hustard is also in the pits. So Scar Tricks, you are P1, my friend. Looks like Mitch is right on the back of the coach, making a move through turn 8. That is very interesting to see. Mitch also electing to take a lot of track through turn 9. There's not much going on here in the back of the grid. This looks like Father Corn and Randoms have a little bit of a battle right here, coming into turn 3. And as they do that, I will make sure to see what tires our drivers are currently sitting on. This Father Corn still battling out right here with Randoms through turn 5. It looks like he will get the position, but Randoms pulling up right on his gearbox. He is not going to give this up. As Marlon Conga is flying through the grid, the 108, I believe 8 right there, for the fastest lap so far in the race. And it looks like Randoms is just falling a little bit back there from Father Corn. As he goes very wide through turn 2, that's going to lose him a lot of time. We now have the Henchman 21 in P5, right behind King Kirk there in P4. And I swear I did not see the Henchman at the start of this formation lap. but somehow he has snuck his way into the race and into P5. He is one of our drivers, so I'm not saying that as if he was a random. I know the henchman quite well, I'd like to say, and he is sitting very nicely there in P5. And he's got 16 laps in on those medium tires. Quite possibly looking to make a pit stop in the coming laps. It looks like Randoms has said he will make his stop. Go back on board here with henchman. Getting very wide through turn 1. Doesn't look like he's going to have enough there going to make a move through turn 2 on King Kirk. As I look down the grid, Marlon Conga is on the soft compound tires, and the game is not lying to me. He's now right on the back of his teammate of Father Corn, who spent 14 laps on his hards. So it looks like Marlon's going to have to go with the 2-stop here. He started on softs, pitted for softs, so he's going for a definite 2-stop. Interesting strategy to go for here at Austria, as you can definitely make the 1-stop work in your advantage. And I speak Marlon's name, and he shall deliver me a time penalty, as he does, a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. This henchman is just sitting around the back of King Kirk there, but with 18 laps on those mediums, I mean, he is stretching the distance there on those. And the coach as well with a 3-second time penalty. The coach, the roast who does the most. And he is sitting in P12. And as I go down to him, he is pulling a Lewis Hamilton at Germany and throwing his car off the track. As Randoms now gets an overtake done there from White Mike for P13. Rock Lobster, unfortunately, has really been struggling here tonight as he sits in P15 after 4 DNFs and 1 disconnection there for DGM. But as we go back down to the henchman, 21, in the racing point, he is still sitting about 7 to 8 tenths behind King Kirk, as Mitch puts in a fastest lap of a 1:08.0 and on medium tires. As, McFossitas has gone off in the Renault, falling back to P5, now getting overtaken there by Marlon Conga, and that's going to drop him down to P6, but it looks like the game called an illegal overtake. So Marlon's going to have to make that overtake once again. Thank you, Cody's, for a great game that we have. As I said, that Marlon's tires were changing colors from red to yellow. Just giving us some outdated Christmas lights right there on the tires. But Marlon will now be in P5 after escaping that time penalty. Henchman 21, unfortunately, has picked up his own time penalty of 3 seconds. So we go on board with Money Hustler here, right on the gearbox of Father Corn, making a move into turn 1. But Father Corn will have the benefit of DRS here going into turn 2. See if he can do anything here. Takes a peek and thinks better of it. But Mitch says, no thank you, sir. I'm going to dive bomb my way into your direction. Can't quite make the move happen there, but he's definitely going to have the traction to do something into turn 3. As Father Corn has 1 medium tire and 3 hards. One of those hardest tires flashing the mediums. Once again, thank you, Cody's. This is a great game. EA Cody's, it's in the tires. Copyrighted by PPR Nick. And unfortunately, Mitch cannot make the move right now here on Father and Corn. Look on board with Marlon Conga, who is flying by the henchman there. Marlon with the fresher soft tires, as he is now sitting in P4, but he will have to make another stop. So he may have thrown away the race victory here. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but running a two-stop in this race is very risky, and a lot of things have to go your way. And right now, sitting in P4, I mean, he's sitting well up on the grid, but after making another stop, that's going to drop him back about 18 to 20 seconds. So he'll be sitting at least P11 by the time he comes out, but on fresher tires. So maybe Marlon can pull a Marlon Maestro and have the race strategy of the decade here. As we have an incident through sector 2. Nothing looks like it's going on there. Just some drivers electing to hop into the pits, as Mitch 712 now sees himself into P7 after Father Corn and McFossitas opting to go into the pits. So here we go. 13 laps left in the race. Money Hustler, who started P2, is currently sitting P6. He is half a tenth behind the henchman 21, who will need to pit again. So Money Hustler sitting very comfortably right there in P6. He may be able to take the race win here today after pit stops. Let's go on the outside of turn 8, but luckily enough, the henchman 21 was opting to go in the pits, and there is a virtual safety car. And thanks, Cyclone. You are glitching our screen, and we see a beautiful end plate. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that end plate right there, as Cyclone gets disqualified from the race. That's 2 disqualifications in one race. But that is really gonna shape up here for Ronan, as if the VSC stays out long enough, he can come to the pits right now, as well as Kirk, as I should say. And I say that, and bye-bye VSC, so maybe not. Everything's gonna stay the same. No drivers being able to hop into the pits, get some fresh tires. So Money Hustler's still sitting comfortably there in P4. But Marlon Conga, I mean, he's going to have to make a stop soon. We'll see what he goes for. And I say that, and it looks like he is diving into the pits. So is King Kirk, taking the optimal line into the pits. So that's our top 3 into the pits, and Money Hustler looks like he's going to promote himself into P1 after these stops. And it is none other than Scar Tricks now sitting on the podium currently with just 11 laps to go. He is in P3 as the henchman and Ronan side by side into turn 2. Now Ronan said, "I leave a no space." Fernando Alonso would be very upset with you, Ronan. But that's just hard racing right there, as he gets P4 on the henchman 21. As we know, now go on board with Marlon Conga, who's now on the medium tires after making his final stop of the race. Trying to make a move on the outside here at King Kirk. That's very risky, not a lot of traction there on the outside. As Little Morty has joined. Scar Tricks for the 106.2. Scar Tricks is flying around this circuit. He might take P1 in this race. Doesn't look like Marlon Conga will be able to make a move at all. The henchman with a terrible exit out of turn 1. And still the benefit of DRS, he's gonna gain a lot of time here on Ronan, but just cannot make a move. He's too far back. But here comes Marlon taking a peek. He opts to go for it, but cannot make the move. So King Kirk will stay in P7. And McFossitas said, "Hi, I'm here. Banana Boat Boy, it's me." And he is sitting in P9, taking a close look at this battle here for P7. As we're just getting a whole bunch of randoms joining. Zeus. What's up, Zeus? You can't race, but hi, how are you? Fossitas, unfortunately, getting very wide right there on the exit of turn 9. We'll go on board here with Marlon Conga, as actually Mitch is making a dive bomb on Scar Tricks into turn 3. These guys are going side by side, making a little bit of touch right there. Rubbing is not racing in Formula 1, but they don't care, as Mitch will stay in P2. The Scar is trying his best to get around him. Taking a peek on the inside, taking a wider line to gain a little bit more traction there on the inside of the apex of turn 4s and 5. Potentially, if he's a smart driver, setting himself up for the exit of turn 9. And to get a good run going through turn 1 and that DRS straight that leads into turn 2. I am very impressed here by Scar Tricks, showing definite pace, as he's now bridged that gap within just 2/10 of Mitch. And Mitch with the older mediums, the Scar on the fresher softs. But just can't get anything going there. And to turn 2, so Mitch will still stay in P2. But here comes Scar. He's got the inside line, and Mitch isn't going to be able to do really anything there. Scar just has a better traction, the fresher tires, and Mitch might have to concede second place as Scar now looks for his next and final victim of this race, and that's going to be Money Hustard, who qualified in P2, overtook Marlon Conga very early. They had some battles in their first stint of the race, but Marlon, opting to go on the 2-stop, looks to have taken himself out from a podium contention. So now it looks like Scar is going to take his own peak here at the race of victory. As I speak of Marlon, like I have in this race, and he is now falling in the pits, and it looks like he might be out of points contention after being our pole sitter for the race. Very sad to see there for the McLaren of him. Here we go, McFossitas right on the back of King Kirk. This is the battle for P6 here between a Renault and a Ferrari. And McFossitas has a great run here. Might be able to get the move done on the outside, and he does. King Kirk's going to fall into 7th place. Now just 6 laps left in the race. As unfortunately for Marlon Conga, looks like he's going to fall all the way to the back, and he will be P11. It looks like Scar Tricks is getting very close to Money Hustard. This is going to be the battle to watch as we come on to lap 30 of 36 for this race. And Scar is just half a second behind the Alfa Romeo of Money Hustard. Scar Tricks going on the outside here at turn 3. Oh, looking for a little bit of a switchback right there, and he gets it on Money Hustard. That's P1 there for Scar Tricks and the Mercedes. And I don't think Money Hustard has enough traction, enough grip in those tires to really make any move back. That's going to be Scar Tricks in the P1 after not qualifying, after starting at the back of the grid. He has put his Merc into P1 with just 6 laps to go. There's now a yellow in Sector 3. And nothing to see. So Scar Tricks now in P1. And Money Hustard, I mean, that's going to be a battle right there just for him to stay close to Scar Tricks. He's 15 laps in on those medium tires. As we now see Mitch 712 pick up a 3-second time penalty. Now we don't know what the time penalties look like for these drivers. Usually if I did have another commentary with me, we'd be able to check. But unfortunately, Borat said I have to go to work and make money. And can't really blame him. So I don't have someone else to check these time penalties for me. But Money Hustler is doing a good job so far, staying on the back of Scar Tricks. Falling back though. And it's going to be a battle for him. But like I said, we don't know what the time penalties look like, as King Kirk is now going on the inside here. McFossitoss for P6. As they make a little bit of contact right there. Luckily, no wing damage done. But McFossitoss is a very defensive driver, and he's not going to give that position up very easily, especially with just 5 laps left to go in this race. But here comes McFossitoss on the inside of turn 8. And he will get the move done. However, that's going to give King Kirk DRS. Here going into turn 1. But just not enough space to make a move right there. They'll stay right on the back of McFossitoss. As King Kirk throws it on the outside. McFossitoss barely leaving enough space, and he'll keep P6. Oh, but there's a VSC. Another VSC. Oh, and McFossitoss has lost his wing. And he's also picked up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision on King Kirk. Oh man, that's a heartbreaker there for McFossitoss. They're having a great battle right there. Unfortunately, a VSC came out because I believe Rock Lobster retired on track. And as his VSC is out right now, I'd like to say, usually with active stewards for our regular season races, you cannot retire on track. If you do retire, it has to be within your pit box, or if you do pick up a severe penalty and a penalty to your license as well. But some of these drivers are new drivers. They may not know of that. And Rock Lobster retiring on the track has resulted in this VSC. And that has severely hurt McFossitoss, who's had to dive in the pits. He might be able to come out and still be in points contention. But for Money Hustard, that saves him a little bit of time as he gets to preserve those tires just a little bit more and maybe make a move here on Scar Tricks. But Scar Tricks is flying right now in first place. So Money Hustard now is second back on him, and he's going to be on 18 lap old medium tires. As yeah, we see him right there. Those rears are definitely falling away from him. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch up with Scar Tricks at all. But we do have Marlon Conga right here on the back of Randoms in P9 of that Toro Rosso. And Marlon's getting pretty wide right there. We're now coming in just 2 laps remaining in this race. Marlon with a great exit through turn 9. Makes a great apex there through turn 1. And that's going to put him into P8 as we see King Kirk pit And he's going to follow it back into P11. There's not much doing there between these drivers. So that's going to put Marlin into P8. Doesn't look like he'll be able to catch his teammate at Father Corn as he's 13 seconds back. As this grid has definitely spread out a lot after multiple DNFs. Like 3 virtual safety cars and 1 actual safety car. This is kind of what you expect from a preseason race. Our drivers kind of getting back into things. They haven't done a league race in about a month and a half, so it just gives them time to get their feet back in the water, or as I should say, back on the gas and the brake on that loud pedal. They have definitely provided us with an entertaining race here tonight, as the battle for the points has not died down yet. King Kirk, he is looking for P10, and McFossitas is right on the back of Randoms for P9, and it doesn't look like Marlin's free at all there in P8. Oh, and I say that, and Randoms goes sideways, and that's going to cost King Kirk his left end plate and a bit of his left wing. So for Marlin, that looks like he'll be able to keep P8 before penalties, and Randoms is going to be outside of the points. And King Kirk may pick up our final point there in P10. As we come on the last lap of the race, Scar Tricks is already halfway through this lap. We're just going to sit on board with him and see our great sky view camera of that Mercedes as he comes through turn 8 and turn 9. And what a race there by Scar Tricks, as we see the checkered flag, and he will take P1, followed by Money Hussard in P2. And here comes Mitch for the final podium spot in P3. And followed up very shortly by Ronan, going to take P4, and the Hitchman 21 in P5. And here comes the Toothpaste Williams of George the Fraud 98 in the P6, and the teammates of Father Corn and Marlon Conga in 7th and 8th respectively, as King Kirk has DNF. So that's going to put Randoms in the P10. So all of our drivers that finish will pick up points in this race. Here comes McFossitas, P9, followed by Randoms in P10, and that Toro Rosso, as he'll actually pick up P9, as McFossitas after penalties will finish P10. So hats off to all of those drivers. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do any race interviews, nothing post-race, as I'll have to hop straight in to Division 1. But once again, thank all of you guys for tuning in, watching our preseason race. Hope to see you round 1 in Australia, as we do have one more preseason race in Brazil next week, next Tuesday. And hopefully all of you tune in. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. I'm going to go right across the street and commentate here with Cap the Hood for Division 1. Make sure to tune in. And once again, thank all of you guys for tuning in. We all love you here at PPR. And I will see you either for the Division 1 race or next week at Brazil.